Quick little piece of news that just came across the wire. It's been reported that Mick Thompson of Slipknot was actually hospitalized earlier this morning after he was involved in a knife fight. That's right, a knife fight, not a gun fight or a pillow fight, a knife fight. And the knife fight was with his brother, and whenever they were discovered at the scene, they were really believed to be pretty intoxicated. And whenever I read this part, my initial reaction, the initial thing that I thought was no freaking shit. I don't know anybody who, first of all, actively goes, for a knife fight. That hardly seems to be the first thing that people tend to go for. Usually fists start off the fracas, and then if it escalates, it escalates. But then again, I've never been in a knife fight, so I can't attest to it. And Mick went to the hospital reportedly with a stab wound to the back of his head, and the same article stated that none of the injuries were very serious, which I found to be a bit confusing, because if you stab me in the back of my head, I'm going to think that that's pretty damn serious. There's a lot of things back there that is pretty important. Now, of course, if it's higher up on the top of the head where the skull is, then it is going to be relatively minor. You may have a bit of cracking, but aside from that, you're not going to do much aside from break some skin and cause a nice little gash. But the lower that you get, the more you get to important nerve points. You get to the bottom parts of the brain, which is, of course, encased by the skull, and then you eventually get to nerves in the back and the top part of your head. I'm no doctor, but that to me seems as though it would be just a tad bit serious. So I'm assuming that it's closer toward the top of the back of the head, where the most damage that you're going to do is create a hell of a gash and maybe crack the skull a little bit. Either way, this is surprising. This is alarming news. It makes you really wonder and question what the dispute was. What started the dispute, what it was over, why this happened. Was it something that was just based around intoxication that escalated to this, or was there an altercation based around something concrete that actually caused this to actively occur? And those are the questions that probably will be answered within the next couple of days, and will be reported within the next couple of days, or even within the next couple of hours. For myself personally, of course, we just talked about the entire Slipknot discography on this channel back in October after 5 years of really me being known as the individual that hated this band with the supreme passion of 10,000 Suns. That really put that discography really put that idea, which is old hat, to rest. And genuinely, from one human being to another, I hope that Mick recovers from his wounds. I know Slipknot's currently on a break from touring for Point 5, the Grey Chapter. However, I do know also that a little bit later on this year that they will be starting up once again. I do believe. I think they even have a Pittsburgh show that is planned. So hopefully the recovery is quick. Hopefully the situation, whatever it was that caused this, is resolved, or at least at a point where a truce can be kind of offered. Hopefully it doesn't happen again and doesn't lead to worse things. But that being said, what are your thoughts about this? What are your opinions on this situation? I would really like to know. Leave them in the comments below.